facing certain challenges in terms of giving jobs or having jobs to the graduates of this department. But as I can foresee it, in near future, this problem is not going to be there because linguistics and language teaching, English as a second language, teaching English as a second language, all these branches are coming out regularly on a more frequent basis than we can really imagine. So from that aspect, I really don't see any point of worry for the students that what kind of profession they are going to pursue, or will there be departments opening for them in different institutions. I don't think that will be the actually factor that will hinder your progress or career in your life. But the issues that I want to really speak about are slightly different from what Manjur's question has tried to highlight. I think, in a way, if you want me to speak in a very frank manner, I think that English is partly, or to a little degree, or maybe to a high degree, becoming a liability for students who are trying to learn English with a background in a school for 12 years, where I think, as I see it, they probably virtually haven't learned anything. So therefore, you see, the point when they come to take admission in the universities at the higher level for pursuing English literature, or maybe for that reason for pursuing linguistic subjects, I think then the teachers really are challenged and they really end up with a high degree of disappointment because the kind of development that these students, new entrants, should have really displayed at that level, it is totally absent. So it's a big challenge for the teachers who are responsible for training the generations of future students to take up or grab jobs in future. So I think that is one of the issues that we have to pay attention to, that language is a continuous conundrum of learning. But here when we speak about this language teaching at the tertiary level, what is not being addressed is the fact that in schools from which these students are keep coming, in those schools language is never taught in the correct way. So what is happening now? A student who has taken admission here for English literature to study William Shakespeare, or for linguistic department to study all these language teaching strategies like washback, this and that, they cannot simply tackle this because of their very, very poor command over the language English. So this has to be taken care of, and that is why I think that this kind of exercise where we are being in a situation exchanging ideas between a group of speakers and a body of audience, I think this should really have gone downward to the schools and college levels. Then we will probably have got a more comprehensive picture of the problem. Right now, this problem actually is not identifiable, or it is not correctly identified because we are, in a way, taking up a complacent view about the problem. The problem is much larger than it is. So therefore, I think, in a way, in Bangladesh, right at the moment, English is appearing to be a liability for a greater body of learners. And about career path, okay, my idea is that career path or the choice of a profession has to come from your inner needs. You must ask your inner being what really it wants to be, or what profession does it like to pursue. For example, I have almost become like a grandfather in my profession. I get students now who always tell me that, sir, I have retired. So it means that I am over-retired, in a over-retired phase. So because of that, I can now try to take the attempt to look back into my career, especially at the earlier phase when I chose teaching. Then probably one morning I asked myself, wouldn't I have done better if I had chosen this competitive government service? to become an elected, I really considered that point. What would have been better for me? Then I asked my mind, my conscience, and it said, you don't have in your constitution anything like submitting to somebody without any reason. So I found that I would not be able to begin my morning with a yes sir and end my night with another yes sir. That is almost impossible. That is absent in my constitution. So this comes from my inner need, my identity with my inner soul, that this is what I wanted to be. Then I also, for a temporary moment, when I was performing as a TVC model, I also seriously gave a thought to this career of choosing this acting career. Okay, then I found that in my nature I am by nature so shy a person. I would not be able to capture an audience by my performance on the stage. So I stopped there. And then I found that literature or teaching, not literature, let us say teaching. Teaching is a profession. If you have any love for knowledge, learning about human societies, learning about human behavior, learning about political things of a society, then teaching is the best profession, because this is the only profession where you are being paid for your reading, where you are being paid for your writing. For example, if a physician becomes a writer, okay, if he becomes a very good reader or a scholar, he is not paid for it. But I am being paid for my reading books, my writing books, and then teaching also increases the fellow willingness, love for the other people, which is one of the most important criteria of education. Most important objectives of education is to grow love for your other beings, is to grow love for the humanity. So that is why I found teaching to be the very thing that my inner voice was responding to. But it cannot be generalized. I cannot say that other people should also like teaching. But what I am emphasizing here is that you should be able to always ask your inner mind what it is really wanting to be. That is the most important thing. Self-education or self-knowledge or know thyself, these have come down to us through the civilization, because these sayings have been experimented with, tested against all these situations, changes in society, and they have stood out the onslaught of time, the onslaught of space, and they have become true. They were true for the Greek Socrates, they are true also for us in Bangladesh. So, if we can really understand who we are, where my competencies are lying, where my skills are lying, then we will be actually jumping up on the first level of success. But the next thing is there, when you have discovered, identified your true passion in nature, then you have to work hard behind it. You see, you may be a very gifted student, always securing A plus, A plus, A plus, but that does not guarantee that you will achieve the kind of command that another person might achieve through hard work. So perseverance, hard work, sticking to your goal, which is called a dream, as Abdul Kalam has very beautifully said, which I quote around in every occasion that I make a speech, that he said, the dream that you see in your sleep is not the dream. The dream that does not allow you to sleep is the dream.